Here we are on a new episode of the Right Here podcast with Kat Umbach.
Yep.
Right? Okay. And obviously, this is a very special episode for me because not many people know this, but Kat here is a hidden gem behind the podcast, and part of the reason I got the guests that I have so far on the podcast and some of the guests coming up in the future. So Kat here is a very special guest, and I'm happy to have her. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, so tell me, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah?
Just got from work. Actually, it was slower, so I got to kind of like nerd out with some friends about wrestling. Like, I know I sent this to you, but Luke Welch, who wrestled at Purdue, was talking on Twitter about trying to get like the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club and the NYRTC to do like a freestyle duel.
Yeah.
And like we were just texting back and forth about it, about like our like the ideal matchups. And like me being from Colorado, like the big names you would know would be like Mitch Finesilver, like just the Finesilvers in general, like two sets of twins, like 2 years apart.
Yeah.
All four of them are at Duke. Like, I know your favorite person in college wrestling right now from Colorado is Ryan Deacon.
Yeah, I love me some Ryan Deacon. I'm a big fan of the way he wrestles for sure.
We're working on it. I'll try to get him for you.
All right, good. I'm excited to maybe have Deacon on. So yeah, that big card, the NLWC is wrestling who on Saturday? Cliff King.
Let me see. I know it.
Yeah, Cliff
recently
King
saw this
club. Yeah, it's a pretty big duel. The matchups are pretty good, but I think I'm gonna go Nittany Lion by a clean sweep.
Is it actually going to be like a dual format, or is it just going to be kind of like matches? Like,
I do think it'll be in a dual format from the details and the tweets about it. Yeah, so I am pretty excited to watch that. But it's on a weird streaming platform, right?
Yeah, and what I've heard about this streaming platform is like, unlike with like Flow and stuff, it'll actually be on a streaming site that Penn State and like the training center actually get the proceeds from, rather than it just being like a big international platform.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm excited. My most anticipated match is either Zane and Pantaleo or Bo Nickel and Ringer. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to take Zane and Bo, though, but I think Daringer can get Nickel. How about you? Who do you got?
Yeah, that one will be interesting because Ringer's going – the match, it looks like, is at 190.
Yeah.
Like, some of the matches are in kilos and others are in pounds. So.
Yeah, I did see that tweet. So,
but I mean,
tell
the
me,
one
who
I'm
you,
excited for is Nolf and McFadden.
Oh, man, I got Nolf by a tap.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
But I also love watching McFadden wrestle.
Yeah. So
him in the UFC underground, or not the UFC, the Wrestling Underground thing.
He wrestled in that?
Yeah, he had who did he have? I can't even remember.
I didn't
he just like
watch
he
that.
just killed it.
Did he?
Yeah.
So maybe David stands a chance then.
I mean, he went to Tech, so it's not like they're not good.
Is that a special school for you? VTech?
I've enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, same with
me. Definitely started following them with Joey Dance when he was there.
Yep. I was just going to mention that name. Yeah. Dance was tough back in the day. So, Kat, tell me, who do you got? Bo Nickel or Alex Daringer?
With the weight, if it was like they met in the middle for weight, I would almost go with Ringer.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you know me, I have a special place in my heart for Oklahoma State.
You
Anyone who
do.
knows me knows, like, I love me some Nick Piccinini.
Yeah, that's a fact. Your
Hey,
your two favorite wrestlers are Tomasello and Nick Piccinini, huh?
yep.
Yeah. Both
They're always fun to watch.
yes, and just so speedy. And yeah,
Yeah,
I just saw Tomasello's Facebook post basically saying that he's
yeah.
done
For now, at
wrestling
least.
for some time and like just planning on focus on coaching. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool because he's at Duke now,
Duke.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So,
pretty cool.
Josh Feinsilver has an amazing training partner now, and
He sure does.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, not to say that any of the Feinsilvers aren't great, but I'm just like, okay, well, Josh got the lucky end of the stick with this one. Like, I was talking to Mitch a few days ago about it, and I was like, it would have been so much fun to see you and Nathan be able to roll around together on the mat, but like that weight difference is insane. Like,
yeah.
Mitch is at 74 kilos now, I think.
Which is what in pounds?
162, I want to say.
Yeah.
So,
Is that a Penn State poster in the back? Oh man, that's actually
yeah,
pretty cool.
so yeah, so actually, some of my friends didn't even wrestle at Penn State, but they went there
Yeah,
and they took me to one of the Penn State bars
yeah,
in downtown Denver. And that's actually like the logo almost of the like Penn State Colorado Alumni Association.
yeah.
And I just loved how that looked. My family actually is in Western Pennsylvania, like in Pittsburgh
Really?
area.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like just because I go out there a good amount, like I actually got to go to Final X 2 years ago, I want to say, when it
Yeah.
was at Rec Hall.
Yeah.
That was
I bet that was
insane
that
experience.
seemed like a pretty fun time. Actually, my parents have had a Penn State season tickets for wrestling for a long time now, like maybe 10, 15 years. So I mean, I watched every big Penn State home duel like from 2008 to like 2016 ish. It
Yeah,
is pretty crazy there for their home meets. Big fan of Penn State wrestling, not a fan of Penn State football. That's for sure.
you love your Ohio State football, don't you?
Yes, I'm a big Buckeyes fan. I am so happy that the Big Ten finally said, "Hey,
Yeah,
it is time to play." I'm pretty excited about that.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they do. Like, I think it was today that Penn State athletics announced that they were like ranked fourth in the country for having like 5 seasons above 500,
Yeah,
and it was like them, Oklahoma.
hmm
I can't remember who else, but it was like Oklahoma and Oklahoma State were in that list, and Penn State too.
yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I didn't realize that, but
Wait, are you talking wrestling or a football?
football.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
I follow too many sports, I
same to
guess.
me. Same to me. Fighting, football, basketball, the playoffs are on. Wrestling especially, but yeah, I follow a lot of sports. So let's backtrack a little bit about just talk about like a background, your high school, your college, just like tell the fans and the listeners, just a bit about yourself.
So I grew up in Castle Rock, Colorado. So I'm like kind of between Denver and Colorado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Castleview High School, which is my senior year. Anyone who knows Greco, Kevin Bracken was our head coach, and now Ike Anderson is the head coach there.
Okay.
He was also a really big Greco guy. But my sophomore year of high school, one of my friends wanted to major or manage a sport
Mm-hmm.
and didn't want to do it alone. So I got roped into that, and she was just like, okay, like, let's just manage wrestling. Like, and I had gone to maybe one duel my freshman year, and I was like, what is the sport? Like,
Yeah.
I grew up going to basketball because my dad coached at the high school on the other side of
Oh, really?
town,
Yeah.
and he was the head coach there. He was an assistant coach. I just grew up around basketball. So going into a brand new sport, not knowing what I was doing, had no idea 10 years later I would be here.
Yeah,
Still,
and a giant fan of the sport.
yeah. And then when I was looking to go to college, like, I had looked at St. Cloud State.
Which is
They had
in Minnesota?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I we were supposed to go up to Northern Michigan because I just knew that if I were able to get in with a Olympic level program, and was able to manage that, I could do that and move back home, and then go work with like either the U.S. Olympic Committee or like USA Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our family friends actually told us that University of Colorado, Colorado Springs had a sports management program, and I would be able to do internships with like the Olympics, like
Mm-hmm.
different national governing bodies, and like different colleges around.
Yeah.
Toured there, fell in love with the campus like in 2 seconds. It's gorgeous. But then that's just where I ended up going. I didn't really apply anywhere else. Like, we
Yeah.
had looked at Wyoming and Colorado Mesa. I like both of them okay, but UCCS was just perfect.
Yeah.
And so going into my freshman year
Mm-hmm. Of college?
college,
Yeah.
or like during my freshman year of college,
Yeah.
our internship coordinator just was like, hey, just wanted to let you know that like Air Force is looking for a social media intern. I thought you would be a perfect fit because that's what you enjoy doing and like the sport. So I don't really go to many of the events anymore just because I don't live in the Springs anymore.
Yeah.
But the 3-4 years that I was in college, I was in and out of the room. Like, I would always do, or for the most part, would do like the online scoring, or just help with like running the Twitter during duels.
Yeah.
Um, like, they didn't do anything to get me into the tournament, but I was able to go like help at Midlands with
Oh, nice.
Air Force, and that was a lot of fun. Like,
Yeah.
I was so used to just like all the tiny, like the smaller tournaments here in Colorado. Like,
Yeah.
I've gone up to Wyoming for a Cowboy Open a couple
Oh,
times.
nice.
Um, and then now I'm an official with Colorado USA Wrestling.
Oh,
Working
really?
on getting up to Fargo one
You
of
are
these
an
days.
official.
Yeah, so there's not many people really know this, but there's like two sides of officiating.
Okay.
So there's peering official, which is like we do the bracketing, like the actual like tournament management of it to make sure everything runs smoothly. And then there's obviously the mat officials.
Yeah.
Haven't done that yet. People are still trying to convince me to do that.
You should
We're
do it.
getting there.
Yeah, on television someday.
Who knows? Maybe
Refing maybe like Kyle Dake versus Burroughs.
the one thing I always am terrified of is like me being I only 4'10", so all these like bigger guys like barreling towards me terrifies me.
But I mean, being a ref and like making a call, you like, have to
Yeah.
make it like with confidence and like just to stick to
Yeah.
it.
And like the funny thing is a lot of the like freestyle and Greco tournaments, I'm just like if I'm at home, I'm just sitting there like um watching the matches, and first thing I think of is, oh, who's the official there?
Yeah.
like I'll recognize some of them, and I'm like, oh, I know him.
Yeah.
Um, I actually also through college, I got to help with the Dave Schultz International Tournament in the Springs.
Cool.
So got to know a lot of people from that. Like that one's a fun one because you just
Yeah.
get to see like
It
in
seems.
person being able to be like almost mat side because it's a smaller tournament. So it's not
Yeah.
like there's a raised platform or
Uh,
anything, but just being able to be like right there in the action is like so cool.
yeah. And honestly, I'm sure reffing freestyle is a bit more stressful than folk style, just because there is so many
Yeah.
tight calls, and if they started the action, or if they started the action,
Yeah.
like folk style, it's like pretty basic. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I am cradling you to your back. I'm gonna start counting.
Yeah. I mean, with that one, there's obviously like really big differences, but like at more qualifying tournaments, so like even our state tournament here in Colorado, like
Mhm.
we'll have like the 3-man mechanics. So it's like the official on the whistle who's actually on the mat,
Mhm.
the judge, and then the chairman.
Okay.
And like they all have to agree with that. So that, in my opinion, it's a little bit easier because you get 3 different perspectives of what people saw.
And now that's folk style.
Freestyle and Greco.
Oh, okay.
So like
See, I
the
like
Olympic levels.
heard you say like state tournament, so I just thought of folk style.
Well, we have a qualifying tournament for the state
Yeah.
for freestyle and Greco.
Yeah.
And that's like qualifying for Fargo and stuff.
Okay.
So
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah,
Is that
that
a
one's
fun
that one's
tournament?
always interesting. And then I go out to Southern Plains in Kansas every year.
Yeah.
So kind of bummed that one got canceled this year because I always love going to Kansas.
Kansas just doesn't seem like a tough wrestling state to me. Is it?
I mean, well, we're Southern Plains has like, let me think who's in our region. So a lot of people from Colorado will go.
Yeah.
Kansas, Oklahoma. Who else is in our region? Those are the ones I can think of.
Yeah.
So I think it was 2 years ago. Alex Terringer's younger brother was there, and spitting image,
Really?
100%. It was like, and he had an Oklahoma State shirt on too. So,
He in college now? Is it both?
um, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Um,
I did not know that Alex had a brother.
yeah,
That's pretty cool. And I'm guessing former cowboy.
I don't remember. I don't know why he wouldn't go to
A
um
future cowboy, yeah.
yeah, to Oklahoma State, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, tell us, how did you meet Pickaninny or Tomasello? I'm curious.
So the funny way I met Nathan
Yeah.
was because um this is gonna be like a really sort of long-ish story. So I don't know if you knew this, but in like the 2013-14 school year,
Okay.
Kyle Snyder trained at the Olympic Training Center.
Okay.
And I had met a couple of the other guys who had trained there too, and I was just working on like this project for one of my classes,
Mm-hmm.
and I had the opportunity to like get to know Kyle Snyder a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, so
Whoa, this is a big news.
yeah, that was pretty cool. And a couple years ago, yeah, I was able to work it out with Kyle to have him come do a camp.
Yeah.
We just planned it out like according to when he was going to be in Colorado. We were able to do it at one of the high schools up north. Had a really good turnout. And we, on the way back, I was just like, hey, I don't know if you have any other friends who would be interested. Like, I would love to have Nathan Tomasello do a tournament for us or a camp for us and
Yeah.
everything. So Kyle gave me Nate's number, and we just haven't really gotten the timing down for getting a camp together.
Yeah.
But last year he was in Colorado Springs, and it worked out because for work I had training down there.
Yeah.
I work at a credit union as the loan officer,
Yeah.
and our headquarters is down in the Springs.
Cool.
So I was able to stay with some friends, one of my really good friends, and it just happened to be the same weekend that the world team was in town.
Yeah.
So I was able to hang out with him, like go on some fun little adventures, like Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Like
Yeah.
they were having a fan fest thing at the Air Force Academy, so we just went over there, and he got to see like the academy and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. But I also did help out there for 4 years.
Yeah.
But since then, it's just been like he's been somebody that is just awesome to have as a friend.
Yeah.
And then in terms of Nick, 3 years ago, yeah, like December of 2017, they had a duel at not at Oklahoma State, at Northern Colorado.
Uh-huh.
And another one of the guys that I absolutely love watching is Dean Heil.
Yeah.
So I had gone up to Greeley for the duel and ended up getting a picture with him.
Wait.
And
Dean's from Pittsburgh, right? I think.
who?
Dean Heil. I am pretty sure
No, he's from like Cleveland.
Yes, Cleveland. See, I knew it was either Pittsburgh or Cleveland. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from
And
Cleveland.
I guessed Pittsburgh. Dang it. So yeah, sorry.
So close. Not really.
Well, to be fair, Pittsburgh and Cleveland are kind of close. I mean,
3-hour drive, I want to say.
Yeah. I knew somewhere on the
We've flown
East
into
Coast.
Cleveland because it's cheaper to fly. Sometimes it'll be cheaper to fly to Cleveland and just drive to
Yes.
where my family is in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So I was a fan of Dean, so I had just gone up, and I just was lucky enough to get a picture with Nick. And then the next year, they had another duel at UNC, and I just drove up to that. And funny thing was, it was his birthday. So I was able to just be like, oh, hey, happy birthday, like, awesome duel.
Yeah.
And got a picture with him. And then this last year, they had a duel at Air Force.
Yeah.
And so I went down for that, of course, like, got to see some friends. And like the funny thing was that when Air Force, I can't remember who it was, if it was Air Force or OSU that released their schedule first, but I was like, I looked at it, the Oklahoma State duel was on my birthday.
Oh, nice.
I was just like, okay, I don't know if that's any more perfect, but just one of the jokes I have going with Nick anymore is, okay, well, gotta get my annual picture.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, who's the head coach at UNC? Is it Troy Nickerson?
Nickerson.
Yeah, and then the head coach of Air Force,
Sam Barber.
Sam Barber. I don't know him.
He was at. Oh, great.
Yeah, that name just isn't hanging a bell.
Yeah,
for me.
he was. I think he was at a D2, D3 school.
Gotcha.
Augsburg. That's where he was.
Okay. Cool.
Before, and then he's been with Air Force. I want to say this is his 7th season.
Oh, so he has been there for
a while. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Because I graduated college high school May of 14, so almost 7 years ago.
So you are 23, 24?
24.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just turned 26. I basically feel 30.
Yeah, I saw that post and I was just like, I turned 25 in a few months, and I'm like, I feel that.
Yeah, right. Time flies by, doesn't it, Kat?
Yeah, and your body definitely feels it. I'm like, I'm 24 and I'm going to the chiropractor like every week.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but I can honestly say this. I am probably in the best shape of my life because I ran Sunday through Friday today, and I put in 26 miles total. So I mean, I will take that during a 5-day span. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. Almost 5 miles every day.
Yeah, basically,
A
yeah.
little bit over.
5 times 5, 25, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, is it safe to say you know that your favorite college team is the Cowboys?
Well, okay. I'm one of those people who I'm just like,
Hokie State Cowboys, sorry.
I just love like watching wrestlers. I
Yeah,
just happen to like gather shirts from different schools.
yeah,
So, like the funny thing, like the really funny thing in my opinion is that one team that I follow really closely is Penn State, and their biggest rival for wrestling, it's like them, Ohio State, and Iowa in the Big Ten.
yeah,
But I love watching. I just love watching wrestling. Period. But I realized this a little while ago that like for Big Ten, my favorite team is Penn State. But I know more people on that went to Ohio State, like
yeah,
Joey McKenna, Nate, Kyle, um, Malik Heinzelman's there.
yeah.
He went to the same high school as me. He's just 4 years younger, I want to say. Yeah.
Mm,
So
yeah. And you know, I am kind of the same way. I don't really have a favorite wrestling team. I'm a fan
yeah,
of
it's always
wrestlers
just
and yeah,
that I
and
love
the
following.
styles.
Like I have the people that I have to follow. Like I'll joke with like Defiant Silvers, like Ryan Deacon. Like I'll just be like, I think it was when he got his he medaled at Junior Worlds.
Yeah.
Um, that I was just like, everyone was just like, this Ryan Deacon guy is really, really good. And because he's from like an hour north of me, I was just, and I've known him for a while, I was just like, yeah, I guess he's pretty good. And like
And
anymore,
like
that's just a joke that I'm just like, yeah, he's all right.
and I mean honestly though, Deacon has such a good build to him.
Yeah,
Like he's tall, lean, lanky, but
yeah,
like strong as heck too. Like
yeah.
his
It's
wrestling
insane.
build is like just perfect for the sport.
Yeah, I remember, you probably remember this, 2017 US Open in Vegas,
Okay.
when not many people, I don't think, really
He
knew who
made
he
the
was
finals,
yet.
right?
Well, to get to final, or yeah, he made it to finals.
Yeah.
He made it to finals at the senior level too,
Yeah.
against James Green.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I have never been more stressed out watching that match because I was just like
That was
sitting at
in
home like,
2017. That like seems like
no,
last year.
he wrestled James Green last year, but in
Yes.
2017 was when he beat your boy Yanni.
Did he? They
Yeah,
wrestled?
yeah, they were at the same weight
Really?
class then.
Wow,
I
I
think
didn't
it was
even know that.
138. I think.
Yeah. Well, honestly, my like 3 favorite college wrestlers right now is probably Yanni, Hayden Hidley, and then probably Deacon. Those like 3. But which actually next season,
You're still
Hayden.
getting Hayden's last name wrong.
Yeah, listen,
Hidley.
Hidley. It's like not spelled that way, so it's just
No.
hard for my brain to process it. But yes, Hayden and Deacon could
Yeah,
be in the national finals here this season.
yeah, that was a fun one. That like I'm still like, what is it? Almost 6 months later, I'm still beyond salty that NCAA's got canceled
Yeah,
because
because Ryan was
of
seed
the
1,
virus.
right? Or was Hayden a seed 1?
I don't remember, but I was just like,
They were
I was
definitely
supposed
both
to
your
be
top
there.
2. Yeah,
I
oh,
was supposed
same.
to be in Minneapolis for
I had,
NCAA's.
and I also had tickets for the trials too.
Oh
And
yeah, you
like
were telling me about that.
obviously I still have them for this next summer, but
Yeah,
I am so excited because you know each weight is just so
yeah,
stacked and there's so many good matchups and like I'm gonna be sitting there just so pumped to watch that.
yeah. And like, I don't know, at this point, I'm just kind of like, I love watching college wrestling, but I don't know as many people anymore because
Same.
I've been out of college for 3 years now, like all the people that I've known
And
are
yeah,
pretty much done.
and like
Like,
honestly, I was just saying that to somebody like being in high school and like being in college, I like paid a
yeah,
bit more attention to kids the like same age as me. And
yeah,
like now, as like I'm aging and these kids are coming into college, like it's like just different looking down and like being like,
yeah,
hey, it's like just different to me.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'm just um, like I think there's like Grant Leith from Mizzou. He's
He's tough.
still in.
He's at
I
149.
41.
41.
Yeah, because of that whole thing with Jaden.
I
That
don't know.
that was Jaden Ironman going to Iowa.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's
He's
older
a,
news, but
so wait,
I still saw that. I was like, wait, what?
is Jaden going into his 5th year now or his 6th year?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I
man,
can't remember.
he
All I
just
know
seems
is he
old,
had,
man, in the college.
yeah, I think he's my age.
Yeah.
Because I know that Grant's my age.
Oh, really?
And he's in his 7th.
Woo.
There's a reason I call him Bubble Wrap. Is because he can't stop getting hurt. And he knows I
Bubble wrap.
call him that. And he's like, it's not gonna stick.
That's funny. So yeah, let's talk about the matches last night. I mean, there was only what 6 of them. I
Yeah.
swear to God, that card happened like in 20 minutes. I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck?
Yeah, I
Well,
was just
well,
like,
because Gable beat Hilger in like 30 seconds. I was like, what the heck just happened?
yeah.
But
Yeah. I had to watch a couple of them back because I had just gone to one of the brewing companies like
yeah.
by me, and I had my iPad and I was just watching, but people kept talking to me and I was like, I'm wanting to watch these. I am missing them. Like
Yeah.
I caught like little bits and pieces of Jack Mueller's
Yeah.
match. Like the Joe Colon and Seth Gross one.
Jeez.
That was
21-15, and I
yeah.
honestly think Seth Gross kind of forgot that he was wrestling freestyle, because twice he like rolled the ankle like going funk, and he was like, oh well, that's back exposure. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, like it was just that I watched that one like a couple
36
times
total
today
points
just because
scored.
I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah,
What
I
is the
mean
score?
that was a amazing match, man.
Yeah,
36
that one
total
was
points
insane.
scored. Then with Yanni. Well, honestly, I think Yanni beats Vlad 9 times out of 10. But it was obviously a solid match to watch, but it was
Yeah,
tough for him.
I mean 4-4 criteria.
Yeah. And
Like
that guy Vlad, he's a gold medalist from 2016, I think, too.
I think so
So
too.
like obviously he's he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
just a little bit.
yeah.
And who does he train with?
He trains with Garrett at Cornell, and the
Okay.
guy that beat Jack Mueller from Russia. Is it?
Yeah,
I don't even know how
I
to say
know
his
who you're
name.
talking about
Yeah,
because he
he
was
and obviously Kyle Dake as well.
yeah, well yeah. But yeah, it was hard for me because I was just like, I really want to watch this, but I don't want to be that person that's just like, don't talk to me. I am watching this. I haven't gotten to watch wrestling in like a while. Like
Yeah, you are
it's the
very
small things
passionate.
that make me happy. Just let me watch my wrestling.
Yeah, very passionate about the sport. I haven't met as many fans as you that like
It's just
actually
so
loves
much fun
wrestling.
to watch. Like
Well, listen, I
once you
can.
get to know like more of the guys, like
Yeah,
it's just like you want to see them do well. You just want like I've watched Seth Gross wrestle since he was at South Dakota State
yeah,
because the year that he transferred from Iowa to South Dakota State, um, like the Western Wrestling Conference, the Air Force, Wyoming,
yeah.
all the schools in like my area in the Rocky Mountain area joined the Big 12 as a affiliate member.
Yeah.
And so, actually, no, I lied. South Dakota State and North Dakota State were already in our region.
Okay.
But my freshman year of college, I was just like, I know nothing about college wrestling. This is weird. Writing time, an extra minute. What? I'm confused. Help.
Yeah.
But I kind of had to be forced to pick it up pretty quick because I had gone up to Cowboy Open.
Yeah.
And then just picked it up pretty quick.
Yeah, and honestly, I love watching Seth Gross wrestle. He's always so, entertaining, and a spitting image of my old college teammate, Shop.
Yeah.
Because Shop taught him that side cradle and that Russian 2-on-1. And, like, Seth always does that now, that 2-on-1 from his feet.
Yeah, because AJ was at
South
Dakota State for a while.
a couple years, yeah. And
because I remember that I think it was 2018 that I had gone out to Vegas for Cliff Keen.
Yeah.
And I was just like standing next to AJ, and I was just like, it is so weird seeing you in Purdue gear.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I know. He's AJ, good friend of mine back in college, but yeah.
Yeah. He's so nice. Like,
yes, he is.
They're like, I feel like I'm that person who always has like a whole list of people that I have to say hi to at tournaments, or else I feel bad. Like, I'll always go say hi if I'm just there on my own or something, like I was for Cliff Keen. I'll just go say hi to Air Force if they're there.
Yeah.
I'll go say hi to Troy Nickerson.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I see them at so many tournaments.
Yeah.
And like duels and stuff, because Air Force and Northern Colorado are the two D1 schools for wrestling in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have a bunch of D2 and JUCOs.
Yeah.
I mean,
in
terms of
Mesa D2?
Mesa's D2. Mesa, Colorado School of Mines, Adams State, Western State.
Uh-huh.
Who else do we have that's D2?
Your nails are wicked long.
Yeah, they look bad.
No, hey, I didn't say that.
But yeah, they're all in Colorado, and they're all Division II. And one of the harder tournaments for like D2, D3, NAIA was, I think, the Midwest Classic or something.
Yeah.
In Indianapolis. I'm probably gonna get text saying, "What are you talking about?" But there was a tournament out east that I know mines went to, and a couple of the other Colorado schools were at, and I want to say 8 of the 10 weight classes had somebody who went to college, who's in Colorado for college, place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
So that one was really, really cool, because I knew a few of the guys that placed at that, and would have been nice if they got their tournament as well for their nationals. But I don't know if you saw my post about this from Justin Portillo, but it was about, he just did this blog post about how it would be an interesting concept for Division I to do what D2 and D3 are doing with like the super regions rather than conferences.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just like, I read through it, I was like, the feasibility would
I don't think I did see that.
I'll send it to you after.
All right, deal. And so wait, there's a Justin and a Joshua, right?
They're twins.
Okay, cool. I thought so.
Yeah.
Because I am friends with Josh on Facebook, and like you know, he's the one that posted that like story about his mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you probably saw me retweet it, and I was just like, so glad that like you're an awesome person and all of that, and like
I was thinking about sending Josh a message and like saying, hey man, I want you on the podcast.
Yeah, he would probably love that. Like, when I told him that I was doing it, he was like, oh, that's so cool, let me know when it's up.
Oh,
So
shoot. Well, then,
yeah,
hey,
so he'll
Josh,
just be like, "Oh my
shout out
gosh,
for you. I
shout
want
out!"
you on the podcast here, man. He's a champ, right?
Yeah. I
I
can't
think he is
remember
a national champ.
because I know that
He definitely is it or was in the finals. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. I'm pretty sure he is.
Uh,
But,
Are you checking quick on your phone?
yep.
So,
Because I'm one of those people who's like, I need to know things right away.
and
Yeah.
that is the
So
beauty of having a smartphone with this
right.
crazy internet speed.
Yeah. So D2 finalist,
Okay.
3-time All-American.
So he is going into his senior year then, or is he finished?
I think he has one more year.
Cool. And he
Because
wrestles.
I know he's still in Kearney.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So
So
he
is
has one more
there
year.
is like there like a certain match that like made you maybe in high school like be like, wow, I love the sport of wrestling, or like college maybe? Okay,
Ooh,
wait. Is
that's a
there a
hard one.
certain time or period in your life to where like uh, you know, you just realized, hey, this is the best sport in the whole world? I'm curious.
That's a hard one. Like,
Yeah.
just because, like, I just got to, I don't really know if there was like a specific moment. I think it was probably just like one of the first tournaments that I had gone to as a manager. I was still just learning things.
Hmm.
And it was just like, oh, this is so cool. I think the biggest part that really keeps me in the sport is just like that huge sense of community,
Hmm.
because it's like I was saying earlier, like I have a list of people that I'll go say hi to, like no matter what at tournaments. Like just being able to just be like, oh hey, how's it going? And
And
like
like honestly, wrestling is so much different than any other
any other
sport,
sport.
just
Like
because it seems like everybody knows everybody
everybody. Yeah.
somehow or some way. Somebody
Yeah.
has a certain connection with that person. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And sometimes like I'll just end up forgetting that I've been doing, like I'll just be like going about my business and I'll just forget that I've been doing this for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And like the funny one was I was at dinner with my roommate. I was just like, somebody walked by with a Sly Fox shirt, like the rudest one.
Yeah.
And I was just like, um, if you're wearing a rudest shirt in Colorado, there's a very, very high chance I know at least one person you're with.
Yeah.
And then I saw one of the dads who also coaches out here just walking by. Just
Hmm.
as weird as it sounds, I noticed the back of his head. And I was just like, that looks like JD. Like, I realized that was the back of his head, but that looks like JD Dynette.
Yeah.
Like, Isaac Isaac went to Campbell and Gabe's at or was at Stanford. I think he
Hmm.
still is. Yeah, he still is Isaac's son.
Where is Campbell at?
It is in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina.
Okay, I thought
Yeah,
it was in
yeah, that's where
North
Colat
Carolina.
was at before.
Yes.
Dean had been helping out there for a while because his younger brother
Brother.
Josh was
Yeah.
there. So,
Yeah.
like I told you, as much I'm like a wrestling encyclopedia with really random things.
You really are. I don't know if I have ever met a female in the sport of wrestling that knows even half as much as you.
Yeah. Well,
It is
thanks.
it's pretty impressive. Well, yeah, it's pretty impressive. Now, Kat, are you ready for
Oh
the
no.
famous speed round?
Oh no. You're gonna call me out on something. I know you are.
No, but
I
I'm
think we
gonna.
covered the one that I already was gonna get called out on.
Well, I may ask him again just to
Oh no.
clarify. And I'm gonna keep it all wrestling.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Well,
Okay.
no. Actually, be like first few just wrestling.
Fine.
First one.
That works.
Who's the best coach in wrestling today?
You have to go with like John Smith. Like
John Smith.
like, I just think he's like an amazing coach. Like, another one that definitely has to get honorable mention is Kerry Collette. Like, the
Yeah.
fact that not many people until like the last couple years knew who Campbell was.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you have Josh Heil, who's there. Noah Gonzer, he's their director of operations at Campbell now. Like all these guys that ended up being amazing and making a name for the school.
Yeah.
Like Colette, I feel like was able to do that. Like he got a tiny school that not many people would recognize, and now they're known on like national level.
Yeah. So next one. Who's your favorite wrestler at the folk style level in college and at the freestyle level?
Oh no. Okay, so for folk style college, Ryan Deacon.
Okay.
I have to. Like I love watching Ryan like for his or like during the Penn State Northwestern duel. Like I don't think many people knew this, but he wrestled Bo Piper, who's also from Colorado. I was just sitting there like, I know how this match is gonna go, but just let Bo score a couple of points. Just give him a couple.
Yeah.
Like they didn't. I don't think they really wrestled in high school because they were in different divisions.
Yeah.
And then for freestyle, oh, that one's so hard. Like that's so hard. Cause I anymore like that's what I end up watching is like freestyle and Greco.
Yeah.
Because that's who I know.
Yeah.
But like probably Nate.
Well,
But
Nate isn't wrestling no more in freestyle. He's coaching, so you
this
really
is
can't
new news. This is new news.
As of last week, yes, it is. So okay.
Actually,
Tomasello.
as of like 3 days ago.
Yeah, true.
But
Now here's a tough one for you. All right.
okay.
I'm gonna ask those same levels, so college folk style and freestyle.
Okay.
Who's the best? Who do you think is the pound for pound best in college folk style and international freestyle or Greco? But that can be a different topic.
Yeah, I mean Greco doesn't get enough
True,
coverage.
and honestly,
Like,
I
and
don't
like
really
not many people
know it too
know
well.
many of those guys. Like,
Yeah.
I just had a lot of friends that wrestled Greco in Colorado and just ended up getting to know people that way. But I would have to go with like Kyle Dake or Yanni. Like
Yeah, like so Yanni for freestyle or folk style or both.
I thought that was the question. I thought you were saying for both.
Well, I meant like separate them, like
Okay.
Yeah. Because in college, I would probably say Spencer Lee or Yanni if I'm talking a pound for pound.
Yeah,
or Gable because Gable's still in college, right?
Yes.
So
yes, I think so.
He might be our number one, but yeah, it's like definitely between those three, I think.
Dayton fix. We forgot about Dayton, but
I don't know if I'm gonna put him in the same.
Yeah,
category.
I mean he looks like crazy.
I did see before I forget that Soriano's dropping to $125 to Russell Spencer.
Yeah,
Lee.
to go against Spencer. Yeah, I saw that too, and I was
excited
like,
for that.
Well, also like the fact that Seabass transferred back home to Rutgers, like the fact that they have just like a straight Jersey boy lineup, it's like,
oh man,
how do you not like watching Rutgers? Like,
yeah.
How do you not like watching Rutgers now?
Yeah, the end.
Like nobody, I don't think anybody was surprised when it was announced that Seabass was going back home to Jersey.
And
just
he'll be at 141, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who else is there other than Yanni? Even though I think Yanni's gonna go 49. Jaden, right? Jaden Hireman, I think will probably be.
I'm not sure what weight Jaden's going because he's at Iowa.
Yeah.
It'll
And
be interesting to see how all the cards fall by the time college comes
yeah,
around.
yeah, I'm curious.
If we get a season even.
So for freestyle, who'd you say? Kyle Dake as the best pound for pound?
That one's so hard for me to answer.
I know, because there's so much talent for our
Yeah,
country. It's
yeah.
it's so tough because with David Taylor, Kyle Dake, Jaden Cox, Kyle
Well, the
Snyder.
fact that they're all in like the same similar weight, it's just like
If I'm talking pound for pound, I'm gonna say David Taylor, but
yeah. I don't.
Jordan Burrow. Man, it's just so
Yeah, but
tough.
like you're even stumping yourself. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it is close.
yeah, it's just hard. Like they're all at 74 kilos, like 74.86.
Honestly, I don't even know the
Yeah,
weights, and I probably
I
should, but
mean when last night we were talking about wrestling, and I completely drew a blank of who was at 74 kilos. And I thought about it for 2 seconds and texted Mitch back, and I was like, just kidding. Please ignore my stupid comment. I totally drew a blank. Figured it out.
all right. Next speed rounder. Are you ready? Favorite
Sure.
film of all time. We'll stop talking about wrestling for a few minutes.
I have to go with like a Disney one. Like I love watching Hercules.
Hercules. Out of all the great Disney movies, you're gonna take Hercules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I just like that whole zero to hero thing, like, and just like the way he did it, like
Yeah.
I even my first tattoo, like my parents still hate tattoos, but my first tattoo that I got was like a shooting star, I can go the distance.
Yeah.
Just because that's my personality. Like I don't like giving up
Yeah.
or like
That's the right
anything
mentality
like
to have.
that. So that was just kind of like something for me that I was just kind of like, oh yeah, that's like 100% like how I am.
Yeah. How many tats do you have?
5.
Do you have 5? I think I have like 9 or 10 now, but I just hide it well on my lean, skinny body.
But actually also honorable mention to the Harry Potter movies.
Jeez. I
3
can't stand those.
through the rest. I'm not a fan of the first 2. I just don't like. I don't know. Like I know they're the like foundational ones, but
And the first 2 are Sorcerer's Stone and Prisoner.
Sorcerer's Stone and
right? Isn't it a Prisoner or is
Chamber of Secrets?
Yes, Chamber of Secrets.
And
yeah.
I just wasn't a fan of those. Like from like the third one on, I really enjoy watching those ones.
Oh yeah, your favorite band or artist, or I mean both.
Ooh, that one's really hard because I just like I listen to so much music, but like for art, like Eric Church has to be one of my favorites. Like
Eric Church,
yeah,
Springsteen, yeah.
yep.
Yeah,
I know
he's
you
a
don't
pretty
like
good.
your country, and I knew that question was coming, and I'm just like,
Isn't it funny how
get
like
my judgment
for like
pearls.
some reason every person that knows me, the first thing they think of is like music. Hey, listen, that Sam guy is a metalhead and he hates his country music. Like literally, I have always been told that. Like, yeah. It's like funny to me. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, Eric Church has to be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like Low Cash is another one that I
him?
really, really like.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's your favorite song by him?
Oh, I don't know. Probably I don't even know. Like just his whole Chief album is really good.
Which is
like,
the Springsteen.
Springsteen's on that one.
And
Drinking My Hands on that one too.
And the all you gotta do is pour a drink in my right or like a
yeah,
drink
that
in my
was
hand?
Drinking My Hand.
Yeah. See, I just because I don't like country don't mean I don't know it. And
you're in Illinois, like you probably have to listen to
boring
it
to me.
sometime.
But the big trend now of country music is this Tyler Childers guy.
I haven't really listened to his music very much.
Yeah.
Actually, also because it just came on in the background, another artist that I really like, as weird as it sounds, is Eminem.
Oh,
Like,
he's great.
yeah,
Yeah, I would put him in my top 10 like favorite artists or
yeah.
bands. Yeah.
He like just I love how he just doesn't care what people think. Like he'll just speak his
Especially his
mind.
first couple albums. I mean, he was just
Yeah,
torching everybody.
yeah. It's Recovery that like Not
Yeah.
Afraid and Space Pound are on, right?
Yes, and yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
love the way you lied, not afraid,
Yep.
space, but yeah. That's a great album,
Yeah.
honestly. See, I like ask the questions and then start talking to you about the answers, and then I forget the questions I was going to ask. Okay. Your favorite athlete outside of wrestling?
Uh, Probably Nolan Arenado. I love me
Who's
some
that?
Rockies. Baseball.
Baseball. See, I just if
Like
I'm
the
watching baseball, it is just the Yankees, so I don't really know any outside people.
Oh yeah, like I remember that I had to give you and Nick a hard time when it was like, oh, Derek Jeter.
Oh yeah, on like Twitter, right?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
started like calling people out and just like
Listen,
calling them out on something.
not only is he the most, you know,
He
clutch
is a really good.
player
He's an
of all
insane
time, but
athlete.
probably the best shortstop of all time. And, a good person on and off the diamond.
Yeah,
So you gotta, respect that about him.
yeah, yeah. Mike,
Um,
outside of wrestling, like no doubt, like I'll be watching if I'm able to. I'll have baseball on,
yeah.
um, or football, and depending on the card, obviously UFC.
Which was going to be my next question. Your favorite UFC fighter, and my guess is going to be Justin Gaethje.
Yep,
Is it Justin
yep.
Gaethje?
I love Justin. He's so chill. Like
Does he beat Habib October 26th?
that's.
And my second question is, how do I get him on the podcast?
I'll figure something out for you.
Because
Like
man, that name would bring in a lot of flow for me.
yeah, I would. I mean, you were gonna have Gregor on, right?
Yeah, but things didn't happen
Hmm,
with him. But
gotcha.
I hope he's on someday. But
Yeah, I'll keep working on Ryan and Justin to try to get them on.
so does Gaethje beat Habib? No, no, no. Actually, I will talk about this first because after that card finishes, I plan on having a like whole podcast talking about it just because the card is so great. So
Yeah,
I definitely think this is Habib's toughest test, and Gaethje
Yeah,
holds power at the weight that not many people have. And like honestly, Gaethje fighting Tony Ferguson, I didn't think Gaethje was going to beat him, and he
yeah.
he dominated him for 5 rounds.
I
Dominated.
had one of my friends. He was just talking smack to me. Like he's like, your boy Justin's gonna lose. You realize that, right? Blah blah blah. All of this, and then Justin wins, and he's just like, I was wrong. That was an insanely good match. And it's
Yeah.
like, I told you.
I
I
don't
told
know.
you.
I don't
I told
know.
literally everyone
I don't know if
Justin was
I've ever
gonna win.
seen a person take so much punishment in a 5 round fight. I mean, Gaethje laid so many bombs on Tony Ferguson that like, oh, it was shocking. So, could Gaethje knock out Habib? Possibly. But here is the biggest
It's
question:
gonna like
can Gaethje stop his wrestling? Because Habib
that's
holds
the thing
people
that I'm just
down.
like,
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people are gonna be like, did you actually say that? Like it anytime
And by the
anyone
way, I
asks
am
me
cheering for
that, I'm just like,
Justin.
anytime anyone asks me that, I'm just like, do I want Justin to win? Yeah, of course. Like he's my favorite fighter. But logistically and logically speaking and everything, like the second he gets to the ground, it's
And he is a D1 All American, so
for
he
if I remember correctly, first D1 All-American
at Northern Colorado.
for Northern Colorado.
Yeah, yeah.
First
So
one when they were
he
D1.
definitely has the background of wrestling, but
Yeah.
obviously wrestling in the UFC. And actually, here's a fun fact, and I heard this on the Joe Rogan podcast. Justin Gaethje has never attempted a takedown in the UFC, and nobody has ever tried a takedown on him or like something crazy. But basically, the point I'm trying to say is that he hasn't wrestled yet in the UFC.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm like super nervous about, is that it's gonna be like he gets taken down and that like nothing.
Man, this is definitely
like it hurts. It physically hurts me to say that anytime anybody asks me, because everybody knows like how big of a fan I am of Justin.
Yeah. And honestly, I am going to pick Khabib, but I think it goes the distance, and I think Justin's tough enough to go the distance with him. But I think Khabib's pressure on the mat and his ground and pound is very tough to beat. But Gaethje does stand a chance of knocking him out, and by far, this is the biggest fight of the year. Yeah. And I mean, every fan of the UFC will probably be watching this card.
Yeah, I'm just like, I need to find people to hang out with, because me being at home for that by myself watching will not end well for me. Because if it doesn't go the way I want it to, I don't want to know.
Yeah, and Justin has such good striking, and his boxing is so high level. If they stood for all 5 rounds, Gaethje beats him.
Yeah.
But can he stop the takedown? If he can stop the takedown, he wins.
His head coach for fighting is Trevor Whitman, and almost any fight that they don't have somebody from Elevation, Trevor will be there and will be providing commentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I'm hoping Joe Rogan is there to commentate that card for sure.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. I'm just so excited for that one. It can't come soon enough.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for it too. So now, Kat, it's time. It's the final segment of the podcast, and obviously, being a big fan of it, and thank you for your help so far, your support, your love for the podcast. Let's end with a positive message, positive vibes, because obviously this country is in a tough time at the moment. So, just share a good final message for the viewers, the fans, the listeners, and for your host, Sam Recca.
I think the biggest thing that I would say is just if you're wanting to do something, just do it. As bad as it sounds, the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work out. But if you keep working towards it, who knows what'll happen? For me, I never thought that I would be as interested in this as I am, and now I'm maybe at some point I'll make it a full-time career doing operations for a college team. Mm-hmm. I think you probably saw my post on Instagram just saying how everything from when I was looking at colleges and getting ready to graduate to now, it didn't go as I planned, but I wouldn't change where I am for anything. Mm-hmm. I love that I still have the ability to be a part of the wrestling community, mm-hmm. and that I've built so many amazing friendships through the sport, and that I am able to, as bad as it sounds, have that good balance between what I love and work. Because I don't know if I would be somebody who would be oh, well, I'm feeling kind of burned out with wrestling because I'm doing it every day of my life.
Yeah.
Just being able to have that balance, and it also being super rewarding, because I have people through wrestling that are always just Kat, you're doing so well, we would love to see you be able to do more. Mm-hmm. And just that feeling of I earned this. No one in my family was involved in wrestling, and me being able to have Olympic level of like mat officials being like, Kat, like, we really need to get you on the mat as an official. Like, you know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
just take this step and like you'll have the support of like that entire wrestling family
Yeah.
of like you can do this. Like just
Yes.
having that support and being able to like reach my goals, I guess, and just like not feeling sorry about it and like being like, this is my journey. Like no one can tell me to stop other
Yes.
than my unbodied and
That was
my own
awesome.
mind.
Yeah. That was an awesome final message. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
And I thank you for coming on. It means the world. So, unfortunately, as much as I like talking to you and talking wrestling, this concludes the episode. And our guest next week is a former Cowboy. And I'm not talking Okie State, I'm talking Wyoming. Bryce Meredith is
I helped with that one too.
our podcast guest next week. It's a big one. He has the best swag I have ever seen in college wrestling.
Bryce is awesome.
He's
like,
a awesome guy. I was just texting him earlier, man, and like he texted back like in 10 seconds. So yeah. I am excited to have on Bryce.
Yeah, that one's gonna be super awesome. Like, you should have him like get Reese Humphrey on next. Like, just like that relationship they have is like hilarious to watch.
Yeah, that's a pretty
or Johnny DeJulius.
I've been in contact with Johnny here and
Good
there.
old JDJ.
Yeah,
that's the crazy man.
Oh man, his like videos like swimming with sharks and skydiving, like
yeah,
dude, I'm like, holy shit, man, this guy just goes and does the craziest things.
Yeah,
but yeah, crazy. Thank you, Kat, for coming on, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Excited to see how all of this goes.
Me too.